Paul's here and Ty's here. Paul, I'm sorry, let's start. What ward are you with?
Ward 1.
Okay, Ty.
Ward 3.
Ty J is Ward 3. I'm Don Ames. I'm Ward 4. And that's all here. All the members we have here. We have staff as well. Sydney Simpson. And is Grant on?
He is.
Okay. So we will begin by looking at the minutes from the last meeting. I hope everybody looked at them. They were lengthy. Anybody want to move for approval or have any problems with the minutes?
I'll make a motion for approval.
I second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. The minutes be approved. Those in favor, please raise your hand.
Point of order, sir. All votes via virtual must be roll call votes.
Okay, even for the minutes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then say A or nay when I call your name, please. Paul Guthrie,
Yay.
Ty,
Aye.
Ames, aye. Unanimous. Okay, then the next thing we have is a public hearing at the request of Rob Cushman for a conditional use permit to operate a, I'm sorry, wrong, I'm reading from the minutes instead of the agenda. We have a public hearing on request by Misty Freeman Callaway for conditional use permit for a major home occupation to provide hair salon services at 155 East Drive. Is there anyone that would like to speak to that?
Last time y'all had some.
I'm sorry, I really meant anybody from the public at this point, Paul.
Excuse me?
Anybody from the public? Jill, are you?
I will. Yes, please.
Okay, Jill.
Can you hear
Blanchard,
me? Yes.
give your address, please.
157 East Drive.
Thank you. Go right ahead now.
Yes, thank you for having me. First of all, I just wanted to, I sent in an email with my feelings towards the Callaways and Misty moving towards this, I would say, option for her employment. And we not only support, but fully encourage her. And she has our 100% support in doing this. When we read the letter, obviously we are neighbors, we are close. Our driveways are literally connected because previously, before either of us owned it, sisters built our house. So we have very close proximity with them. And before she even, moved to do, a formal request, that she came to us and, talked about it. And, when we initially got the letter, I was thankful, obviously, we had talked, because the letter, I don't want to say was a misrepresentation, but just made it sound like she was wanting to operate a full salon. And I know personally that's not her intentions. Obviously we have had some unprecedented times lately due to COVID, and we are all trying to figure out a way to support our families for health and, just in regards to employment. So I'll let her speak on that more personally, but we fully support her in doing so. And if obviously there was anybody that would be directly affected, it would be our family. And we have zero concerns with her doing so. Oh, you're muted. Oh.
I'm sorry. Thank you. Is there anyone else who has any public information they'd like to share?
We did receive a few emails. A couple of them were included in your report that we will add to the record. The first of which were, let's see, I apologize here. The property owners at 159 East Drive, we had received emails from them saying that they don't agree with the rezoning at the address, their residential area with enough traffic. They don't want to see a sign close to their house stating hair salon. The other was a property owner at that same address that says she's sorry, but she doesn't agree with someone operating a hair salon there. Again, this was partially, maybe partially due to the wording in the notice that said hair salon. Typically, we have the wording that says part-time hair salon, and that there is a distinction there. So I emailed both applicants back to let them know that it wasn't a rezoning of the property, but rather a conditional use to operate a part-time hair salon, and signs were not permitted as part of a major home occupation anyway. So those were their concerns. And then we did receive an additional letter from, let's see, it's also in your staff report, from Tricia Mabry at 143 Hedgelawn Drive. That's also in support of the situation and glad to support the change for this family. They're asking the best for, we're all doing the best for our families, and know she's looking out for hers and her neighbors as well, and that they're in support of it. And then we did receive an additional email today that was also in support, and I think I left that on my desk. I don't know the best way to, Grant, do you mind to go grab that off my desk? I apologize, but it was in support as well, that basically I think they were the neighbors on the other side that were just, again, supportive of the family being able to do what they needed to do. So those were the only items that we received for regarding this home occupation.
Okay, perhaps we can come back and hear that just a little bit later.
Sure.
Anything else for public hearing? If not, I'll call it closed, other than the email we're gonna hear in a little while. Old business. Paul, Ty, do you have any old business? All right.
No business.
Seeing none, we'll close that, and we'll go right into the appeal case number 0620-1M. Request by Misty Freeman Callaway for a conditional use permit for a major home occupation to provide hair salon services at 155 East Drive. And at this point, if you'd like to tell us what you're up to, or do you want to start first with staff comments, Sydney? Or should
We'll
we
let
hear their request?
yeah, we'll let her speak to her request, and if you have any questions, then I'll be happy to help answer those.
Okay, y'all go ahead. That'd be good.
Hi, thanks for taking time out to hear us out. We, of course, along with millions of other families, found ourselves during this time with no work from home option. Bryce is a contractor, so he cannot do his job behind a computer. And of course, I do hair. So yes, hair salons were completely shut down for 7 weeks, but the weeks around that, I found myself not able to go to work because our kids were not in school. And just because of health concerns, both my kids have asthma as I do. And I did not want to be in a salon with 30, 40 people during this time. So we would love to be able to build in our attached garage. It would not look any different than the house already looks from the outside. It would add square footage, which would make our property more valuable if we were to ever sell. And it would be just me taking care of one client at a time, probably 3 to 4 clients, 3 to 4 days a week. Again, this is to just be I feel like a responsible business owner, and to find other plans for the possibilities that this may continue to bring for us. We don't know if our kids can return to school full time. They're saying maybe only 2 days a week, and I honestly need to work more than 2 days a week. So we're just trying to come up with a contingency plan for our family and for my small business, and to give ourselves, one of us, a chance to work from home if need be. I definitely don't want it. It's our home, so my desire is not to commercialize it in any way, because again, it is our personal home. It really is just for my clients that I've had for over a decade, to just be able to service them and keep things rolling Do you have anything you want to add to that or to?
No,
Uncovered.
yeah, I'm just excited to be here tonight and just hope that that we are able to move forward with being able to build in our garage for a salon.
Okay, anything else? If not, we'll look for questions from the members. Ty, Paul?
We did also get this other email, I apologize, from 153 East Drive from Wayne and Cassandra Wallowitz. And it says that in regards to the neighbor, they discussed the matter and have no objections to it. They lived there for a couple of years and are great and respectful neighbors, and they've never had any problems and are always willing to help. We've enjoyed being their neighbors and we wish them the very best. Hope that clarifies their position and advances their neighbor's request.
Thank you, Sydney.
Sydney, I have a question. What was the address on that?
153
153.
East Drive. Yes. So this is the neighbors to the west of the property.
Okay.
And then Jill is the one to the east with an adjoining driveway.
Okay. On the 159 East Drive, the email you got, it was negative, but then you sent back a reply saying, hey, it's part-time. Did you get a reply back from that?
No, that email I sent to them, I said, hey, here's the situation. Just want to clarify, what is your address? And at that point, all they said was 159 East Drive, and there was no further follow-up or discussion or anything like that. So.
Paul?
There's not going to be any type of signs, even on a mailbox about a salon or anything.
No.
Are not permitted.
Okay, all right, okay. Let's see. Looks like the people who were against it, it didn't show. And the people that for it, one did show. So, and it's going to be part-time. Now, we've had these things before, where this guy, he built it, down the street from me on Rockland Road. Said he was going to have to put his cars in and everything. We said, okay. And now he's turning it into a garage, about 10 cars sitting there all the time,
Yeah.
We don't want it to turn into a full-time.
We don't either. That's not our desire. And honestly, it may be something I do for a season. This might be something, my kids are only 8 and 10 right now. So I cannot leave them alone if they only go to school 2 days a week. This just enables us to have the freedom to continue our small businesses, but know that our kids are safe and taken care of. It's not something, I don't see myself probably doing this long-term, 10 years, whatever, as they get a little bit older. It's just what we need to make things work for our family right now.
And like Misty said before, we live there and we love the neighborhood and want it to look like a good neighborhood. So anything that we do, we're going to make sure it looks good for the neighborhood and adds value to our property.
I have a question. I believe I understand. Oh, Sydney?
Yeah, also to kind of, Paul, to the point that you had mentioned, the one on Rockland Road is a general commercial zone. It wasn't a major home occupation. They were asking for a conditional use to operate a motor vehicle establishment in a general commercial zone. So it's a little bit of a different animal, even though it was a home. It's a different thing. So just wanted to clarify on that as well.
My question was relating to, I know you're on the edge of Ballantrae, but you are not part of the Ballantrae HOA, is that correct?
Correct. There is no HOA with Ballantrae anymore. There was covenants that expired about 4 years or 5 years ago, right before we moved in. So currently Ballantrae has I don't think they have really anything. We are on, Ballantrae doesn't even realize we're Ballantrae, if that makes sense. Our house faces that really busy East Drive, but we have a very large lot, so no one would ever be able to even park on the street. We have a big driveway and plenty of room to create a whole nother parking area if this were to move forward. So we're not really even in Ballantrae, if that makes sense. We were just built by the same builders.
Okay. One of the other questions I had, I think, Jill, you are on the, you're to the right side. If I'm at the front door, you're to the right side.
Correct.
Okay. Then your driveways connect in the back.
They
Right
do.
where the house lines, front of the house lines go.
Mhm.
I have just a little bit of a concern, and since you are so friendly, maybe you know the answer to this readily, but it seems to me because that's shared, if I were trying to get out of my garage or driveway in the back, I might pull over into the other person's concrete for a while or vice versa, and where you might share that. And I saw a basketball court there. And so I assume that some kids or adults play back there sometimes. So when you have people come for work to get their hair done, does that cause any kind of a problem? It seems like it could, if they don't know that there's kids back there particularly.
One of the things that they literally, like, we all went out together, my family, her family, and we looked at our, our lot. If you drive down East Drive, several of the homes on East Drive have, kind of parking out in the front of their home. It's kind of, I guess, just a parking pad with nice landscaping, brick. There's several. Actually, we're one of the few, I would say, that don't. And I guess that's probably why our driveways are made like they are. So that's something, and I'll let them speak to that they had discussed. We had decided, I think they had to, put a parking area out in front. Like they said, they have a large, beautiful lot, and there's more than enough space. And actually, aesthetically, it would, look wonderful. I'm a real estate agent, so you'll have to kind of, I'm putting that plug in for, but like, it would be beautiful in the front of their home. So that would prevent traffic from even coming up to the first edge of our homes. And that's one thing we did discuss, the concern for cars coming to the back, because we don't want to take that away from our kids. We are out there all the time with our kids, with our families together. But I think the way they are planning to do the parking, that would not even be an issue. So we did address that with one another, though.
Okay, I understand the beauty and so forth, but it does make me nervous if cars and kids are mixed back there on the back.
Yeah, it would be an issue.
It would just be one car. It would be like somebody coming over for coffee and visiting at a time. It would not be several clients at one time coming in and out. It's literally like having, hey, come over and visit me for coffee. One car in, one car out at a time. And yes, we have plenty of space in our front to do. It's almost like I don't know if they call it a roundabout, but
yeah, like a little hook, kind of.
Yeah, I understand if it's not there now, but
no,
the
we
other
wouldn't want to add it unless we could.
Yeah.
To that, you're allowed to have apparently up to 2 customers at the same time. That's one of the reasons I thought about it, because one, if you had 2, one's going to block the other one. And
Gotcha.
there's going to have to be a turnaround somewhere there.
Our hopes is that it would create I don't know what that's called, but where you drive through. But
their driveway's on the far right side, so there's plenty of room. Obviously, I'm not a driveway expert, but there is plenty of room when we walked it to have the parking area to where they would pull in, and it would technically be able to connect to their current driveway. There's plenty of space to have them circle to where they really wouldn't have to
would ever be
blocked. Back up or anything. So
okay. Ty, Paul, do you have any questions? Additional?
I always have questions.
Go ahead, Ty.
To go off of what you were saying about the number of customers, also, I'm looking at this chart here, and item D says you can have up to 2 employees as well. So if we have 2 customers, 2 employees, we're looking at 4 cars.
Right. But I don't.
I
Yeah,
mean,
okay. He's advising me, we don't have plans to ever implement that. Again, that's my home. I don't want that at my place. So he was saying we could make that a condition. And I'm fine with that. Really, all we're seeking is that I can work with one chair, one client at a time. And the reason I'm seeking this, I mean, I'm going to be really honest. There are people who do this already in their home under the radar. I'm seeking it because with the State Board of Cosmetology, I am held with my license to have my home set up as a legit salon that they can come in and approve, or I could lose my license. So this is the first step to even take that step legally. Instead of just, oh, I'm doing hair underground in my garage, come get it done. I'm trying to do it all by the book and legit, and this is the first step to that. That way the Board of Cosmetology would come in and inspect everything and say she's a legit salon establishment. But my goal is not to turn my house into a full function commercial multi-employee, multi-client facility. And I know that's easy to just say, but it's true.
So Ty, apparently, if you wanted to, and we have a motion to move this forward, you could have it amended or put stipulation on in terms of employees and so forth. If we want to make it a little tighter, if you're concerned about that.
well, I think as a whole, because correct me if I'm wrong, if we move forward on this, and let's say years go down the road, Jill Blankenship's gone, the applicants are gone, and so we're still left with what's in place. And so now somebody else take advantage of that. Am I correct, Sydney, or am I not correct?
That is correct. Does run with the land.
I think, Ty, I was thinking already and that we might want to put an additional stipulation on that the appeal would only last until the house changed hands, until ownership changed.
Oh, well, it's
That
easy.
would be another condition I believe we can add to it if we'd like to.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that was an option. I just thought
Forever.
regardless of what changes ownerships, it just keeps on going.
Okay.
So can I ask a question to the applicants?
Yes.
Certainly.
So if we put a condition on here saying no employees, would that be acceptable to you?
Yes. As far as no other hairstylists trying to work in there and have clients, such as,
Like a shampoo person or something like that?
yeah, I mean, that's fine. At this point, I'm just, like I said, just seeking it for myself.
Okay.
I do it all now. I shampoo my own clients.
Okay. Okay, well, if that's the case, can I put a motion together for a condition that we have, if this goes through, for no and additional employees? How would I word that?
Well, I think the first thing we need to do is have a motion to accept the appeal for this conditional use. And you can then also put on there the stipulations as you make that movement, or somebody could add them as an amendment if you didn't. So you can make the motion including the stipulations you wanted to add.
Okay. I make a motion that we approve this request with the stipulation with no employees, no additional employees besides the applicant. However, that's legally worded.
Is there a second? I'll second it. We would have discussion on that now. And in doing so, I would like to add or propose an additional amendment that said the life of this appeal acceptance would only be until the ownership of the home changed. Anybody want to second that potential
I
amendment?
second that.
Okay. We're gonna, we'll vote on that, or any discussion, Paul, before we vote? Okay, let's go ahead and vote. Paul,
I'm ready to go.
Ty,
Aye.
I say aye. So the
Okay.
amendment is approved. Now we need to talk about the total of the motion, which is to accept with stipulation that there be no additional or outside employees, I think would be the correct wording, and that that this exists only until the ownership of the home changes. Any, let's see, we've had that motion. We need to vote on that now unless there's any discussion. Paul, Ty, any
I'm good.
discussion?
Second.
All right, let's take the roll. Paul?
Aye. Yeah.
Okay, Ty? How you
Aye.
vote? And I vote aye. So it is accepted, and you're, you can get with staff to get all that put together and go ahead and rock and roll.
Thank you so much.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Take care.
Is there any other business brought forth to the group?
Business for July, I will not be available, Sydney.
Okay. Good to know. We will be having a meeting if we do have a quorum. If not, we're required one within 45 days of submission of the application. So we would have to have one. If it's not the 6th, we would have to have it a second meeting date. Don, will you be available for that?
What is the date again?
July 6th. So it's kind of tricky. It's right behind the 4th of July weekend.
I'll be fine.
Okay,
Oh, if it's July 6th, I might be available. It's 6 p.m., right?
that's correct.
I can probably be available. I'll be
Okay.
back in Gatlinburg by then, I think.
Okay. And I'll check with Dale and Bill to make sure we have a quorum because we'll definitely need one. So,
Well, you're going to be there, right? You're okay?
Yeah,
Well-
I'll probably be there.
Time. Okay. All right. If there's no other business, we'll consider this meeting adjourned.
Take care.
All right, Don, thank you for doing a good job.
Oh, you're welcome. I didn't want to.
thank you for filling in. You did great.
Oh, hey,
Everyone.
next time let Bill do it.
We'll add it to your tab.